LLMs, in order to be useful, have to be given some access to private data, access to controls. Otherwise, they're sort of operating in a vacuum, right? Now, obviously, that enables them to do really interesting things. But on the flip side, when you have LLMs that maybe don't have guardrails, that might hallucinate outputs and choose the incorrect actions or behaviors to take under certain scenarios, you can really get unexpected behavior as well. So it's this sort of double-edged sword. If you want it to be functional, you got to grant it access to things. But on the flip side, if you grant it access to things, it could really go wild and do really unexpected, undesirable behaviors. I think was surprising to me was how many people were willing to basically install CloudBook and give it access to various things like their credit card or whatever. There's definitely a large amount of interest in people seeing how far they can push agents to carry out various types of automations and tasks. I think the really interesting thing to me was seeing how willing people are to hand over those keys. The security concerns that should be raised are through the roof, right? I watched some of the explainer videos on if you wanted to get CloudBot set up. And there's tutorials where people are like, hey, this is how you open your terminal. You know, people who don't have experience with the terminal are being given all of the instructions they need to set up CloudBot, to hook up to Maltbook. And it's kind of wild to think that, you know, people who not only don't understand necessarily how an LLM works, but don't even understand the kinds of tools that they're giving the LLM access to, right? But it's become so easy to set these things up nowadays that, you know, anyone can do it. And I think that's hugely concerning. Like, you know, I think people are going to leave themselves open to all sorts of security concerns and implications. I've noticed a sort of interesting inversion between people who are in the LLM world actually building these tools versus people who are just sort of practitioners using them. I've had friends when their LLM doesn't do the thing that they expected or gives an incorrect result, they're sort of shocked, right? And they come to me and they're like, why would it fail? I gave it the data, the information, the PDF, and it's using the wrong number. It summarized something incorrectly. How could it possibly have done that when the data is right there? My response is almost always the opposite. I'm always blown away when it does things correctly. And only when it fails, I'm like, yeah, obviously it should fail. It's just an autocomplete model, right? So I think you should both be impressed at the capabilities of LLMs, but you should be skeptical so that if they fail, they won't fail in catastrophic ways.